How is everyone this morning?
Everyone is muted this morning. Good morning.
Doing great, Camille. How about you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm going to mute and listen on.
All right. Dawn, I think the time has come.
Okay.
It's according to the agenda. You welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Rotary eClub of the Caribbean, District 7020. We'd like to welcome all of our guests and our regular members and thank everybody for making it. I know some of you, it takes a bit and we appreciate that. Camille, we always appreciate seeing you, even if you are in the car. I've done that myself, so don't be embarrassed. Just show on up. Bring your coffee and your Rotary goodwill and let's get at it. So we'd like to recognize our visiting Rotarians and guest speakers. Our visiting, but soon to be one of us, we hope, Jason Lewis. Now, Jason, just to massage all our brains, right now, where are you based out of?
Well, for the next 2 weeks and 0 days, not that anyone's counting, I'm in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, but then in 2 weeks and 1 day, I will be joining my wife in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. So the weekend of the 11th, you're going to be busy.
I will be busy, but I made sure my flight is later in the afternoon so I can come to Rotary that morning.
Okay. Woo!
Dedication.
Okay, yeah, we appreciate it. 21, so 28th, 4th. Is it the 4th you're flying or the 11th?
The 4th.
Okay. Okay, because we were just talking about maybe having a new member sort of meet and greet day, and we talked about the 4th, but if that totally doesn't work for you, then we could try shifting the date if you're going to be on airplanes or something.
Yeah, I'll be on the airplane starting at noon.
Okay. Just heads up, we might want you to say a little more then.
Okay.
And then we have from Homeopaths Without Borders and from Haiti, from the Haitian Medical Association. From the Haitian Medical Association, we have Dr. Joey Prosper, correct?
That's correct, Prosper. Yeah.
Okay. Who is a physician in Haiti who's been working a lot with that project and who's shown some interest in our club. Welcome. We're glad to see you. We're glad you could make it. And then speaking with us today will be Holly. Now, remind us how to pronounce your name correctly. Mahunian?
Manugian. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. And Holly has been with the Homeopaths Without Borders for, I've been talking back and forth with you for about 3 years, but you joined them when?
2011.
2011, so about 7 years now.
Yes.
Okay. And she's going to be our guest speaker today on what Homeopaths Without Borders has been doing in Haiti and sort of the arc of that project and where it's gotten to up to this point. We've been looking at doing a matching grant or something, now a global grant with that project. And so she's going to let the membership know sort of where they are right now in the whole arc and tell us a bit more about what that is and what use the Haitians are finding it. And I think that's our visiting Rotarians for today. For announcements, I am trying to get things in the club a bit more organized. We are going to be looking at being a little more focused on how we use Club Runner and email to communicate either on the board or with general membership when there's questions to be thought of and maybe discussed in a meeting, because we are very cognizant that it's hard for us all to meet at one point. And so next week, we're going to have a Live and Learn as a club. We'll go through some of that Rotary content for Rotarians. We're going to do a goal review on Rotary Club Central. There's a list of goals that all the clubs are asked to set for the year. And the district and Rotary President Awards and citations tie back into those. So we're going to go over them. We're going to look at them. Things that haven't been set yet, we'll try to set as a club. So that's going to be a very important meeting, and I would like for everybody to make sure, if at all possible, that you can attend. I promise it won't be dull and dry, but we do definitely want to do that sooner in the year rather than later. And that's all the announcements I can think of at the moment. Board members, if I've forgotten anything that I should say right now, or if you have any other announcements, hit the raise your hand button and let us know, or put your hand up. Let's see, on the, where is that? Just a reminder. Somewhere there is a raise your hand button that I don't want to miss. John, where did that button go?
It's
not on chat.
It's at the bottom of the participants. If you expand the participants icon at the bottom of your window.
Oh, yeah.
It's at the bottom
Raise
of the
hand.
window that opens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, because as host I do not have that option.
okay. So everybody else, if you have a point to make, tap participants. When it comes up, tap raise hand at the bottom right, and
Then I'll call on you.
And John will call on you, because as the Sergeant of Arms, he's hosting the meeting and he gets to see all those wonderful buttons. Okay?
Great.
If we have no other, if you're not seeing anybody else
That's it.
with announcements
You covered it.
or other, I will remind everybody that the Wednesday meetings, the happy hours are on. That's at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8. Often we have a little video that Kitty will come up with that she'll show us, and then we'll discuss. Or if you want to bring your own video, something that you'd like to talk, but we don't get to it in the main meeting, and you just want to hang out with a cup of your favorite beverage and debate something, Wednesday's a good time to do it. So it's often a small group, but we have a lot of fun. I drop in when I can.
Roger.
So please feel free to attend. Yeah?
Roger had his hand up.
Yeah, just one short
Okay.
announcement that you might all be interested in, because it's connected to RI President Barry, and that is that yesterday Diana received an invitation to be his representative at a district conference to be held in Liverpool in November. So we'll be going to represent Barry and Esther at the district conference for District 1100, I think. But so Diana will be RI President's rep at that. So I thought you would all be interested to know that. Okay.
Just so we're clear, I'm representing Barry and Roger is representing Esther, just so we're clear.
Oh, don't get confused.
Excellent.
Okay.
Absolutely. Excellent choice.
Thank you.
Yeah. And on August 12th, we're told that Barry is going to be in St. Croix. We're going to try and get hold of Jackie, who right now is in St. Croix, and make sure that she can make that. But our illustrious RI president has...
maybe Jackie can represent us in one event and Deborah can represent us in another one. That way we're both giving same opportunities to both of our members.
Yeah. Whoever's in St. Croix, speak up, because we'd like to get it organized and not be thinking on the 13th, darn, we shoulda. I will write them, because I'm trying to get hold of both of them anyway. All right. Any other announcements, news other club members might want to know about?
That's it.
Okay, failing that, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Holly to make her little presentation. And then when she's done, there'll be time for question and answer and whatever the club membership would like to hear after. So Holly, let's turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dawn. I don't know if you have other plans for the rest of the meeting or how much time you would like to allot for this discussion.
30.
We got through, 30 minutes.
Oh, wow, nice, very nice. Well,
if you really didn't prepare for that, I understand. We got through the preliminaries a little faster than I expected, but don't feel that you have to rush.
No, I will just keep talking and answering questions and updating you all. It's nice to be with many of you again. It's been a little bit over a year. Some people are new. Thank you very much for welcoming me and Dr. Joey back into your meeting here. We're excited to share with you what we did over the last year. I know we were working on a proposal together. And our timing and weather interferences kind of interrupted the flow of things. But in the meantime, HWB was able to garner additional support to get us through our first round of teaching our program to medical professionals in Haiti. We had a class of started with a class of 15 and a few members unfortunately couldn't attend. These were members that were working directly within the Ministry of Health. So let me just back up and I'm not sure, but I think everybody has our history of how we, Homeopaths Without Borders, got into Haiti. So I'm going to just continue with what our mission is there and how we're responding to the requests within the country. The course that we teach is a 90-hour professional course to train medical professionals how to integrate the fundamentals of classical homeopathy, prescribing for therapeutic conditions related to first aid, acute, infectious, epidemic diseases. And during the course, we are bringing in professional homeopaths with license background and non-medical license background to assist during our clinical training component of the course. The class is 90 hours. Half of that is basically classroom instruction, and then the other half is clinical training where we're mentoring the process and the students' skills. That course is designed is set up for 4 different sessions. And we'd like to keep it flowing with going back every other month so that in the in-between time, the students are practicing and collaborating, studying together. During the last course, we saw during their clinical component, they saw 475 patients where they were cared for. And we particularly wanted to do some type of an assessment on the effectiveness and the welcoming of homeopathy there in the country, because it is a new medicine, a new type of intervention. And so we particularly were tracking folks that had infectious diseases during this training course. And of the 475 patients, we followed up on 85 patients that were being prescribed for some type of infectious issue, such as an infected tooth, vaginitis, parasites. And we wanted to know how they were doing and how they experienced homeopathy. And of those 85 patients, 81% of them reported after 2 follow-up calls, 4 days out and then 8 days out. 85% of them reported that they were better or much better after receiving just 1 dose of one medicine. And 82% of them either agreed or strongly agreed that they would consider using homeopathy again for an ailment. So that has given us the assurance that we're on a good track here to help to alleviate the lack or the struggle to get health care in Haiti. So our thoughts in moving forward after successfully completing the 1 course, working with members at the Ministry of Health and the Medical Association, and now this cohort of new homeopaths, the MD group, working with our other homeopaths in Haiti that we have trained over the years, so that there are now 50 homeopaths trained by us in the country. Our next strategy is to continue to turn over the development of this integrative medicine to the Haitians. And what we would like to set forth with this next proposal or collaboration, hopefully with your group, is to move into a 3-year plan where we can begin to train trainers within Haiti. We have selected 3 top-notch students and homeopaths now, and Dr. Joey being one of them, to begin to work more closely with our teaching staff, so that team, for the first year, they would begin teaching a little bit with Dr. Lauren, who's our main instructor, and then the next 2 courses, they will subsequently pick up more and more of the responsibilities to teach while they're getting coached from our staff. And all along, our clinical staff will continue to oversee the operations of the care during the community clinics, to advise and continue to monitor their progress. And we will likely continue to collect data and assess the effectiveness and the response of the people as far as whether or not homeopathy is helping or not. So that's our main strategy with the next 3 years, is to turn the teaching over to the people locally there. Along with that strategy, we would also like to think about and plan for, and again, this is coming within our colleagues in Haiti, is to, in year 2.5 or 3, to convene an international conference on infectious disease, integrating homeopathic medicines. Homeopaths Without Borders has had experience and has done an observational study within Haiti to monitor the effectiveness with chikungunya for people that suffered from the chronic effect of that. And it's and that's picking up interest from other countries as well. So we think it's time to move to convene a large discussion around that, and we would love to do that 2-3 years out, and I think that would be a really wonderful match to have support from a Rotarian group that knows how to do conferences and bring large groups of folks together. That may be another way that we could continue to work together in the future. Another area that we're moving into within Haiti with our teaching is we have our next textbook will be out in a few months, and this is to train and work with hospital staff and birth attendants who are working in the countryside, how to integrate homeopathic medicines during the childbearing year. And we will be partnering with a government hospital in the northeast rural area to integrate this program coming at the end of this year to train their hospital staff with people working out in the countryside, and with the hopes of, and this is the goals coming from the hospital, of helping to open up the communications back and forth so that the people out in the countryside are accessing the hospital much more to help prevent serious complications and death. So we're excited about that project. And again, people are following and watching how this program has been developing over the years. So internationally, we are getting other kinds of requests, but because we're such a small organization, we are being very careful not to overstep what we can do at this point, because our commitment still is very strong for Haiti, and responding to their requests to help continue to integrate this medicine into their medical system. So we're going to continue to grow wisely and assuredly before we keep moving around. Let's see. Dr. Joey, I'm wondering if, it's good to see you this morning, and I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about what your cohort did just days after our last team graduated your class, and it was wonderful. We had a wonderful graduation ceremony where we had representation from the Ministry of Health and the Medical Association to congratulate this first class. And maybe you can fill them in on what the cohort did with the whole group energy, and what everybody that took the course and graduated are currently using the medicines now, but maybe you can give some more examples.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for having us. And well, this homeopathy has changed our practice, our medical practice. As clinicians that we are, now that we graduated and we form a group. We collaborate together, and we help identify new diseases that comes to Haiti, and using homeopathy also give us different alternatives. Not that it's not an alternative source of medicine, but it's that it expands our clinic so much. Whereas my patients, I've been able to provide so much more to my patients. In certain patients where has allopathic physicians, and now we are homeopathic physicians. We are not driving away from allopathic medicine, but it's just that the amplification of homeopathic medicine has been able to provide us with a lot more, and especially in Haiti, homeopathic medicine is a lot cheaper and it's a lot easier to get to. And not only that, a lot of other branches of homeopathic medicine can also be developed in Haiti because of so many natural aspects that are available. So now we have a homeopathic group. We are now putting together the first homeopathic medicine organization in Haiti. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Health, and hopefully we'll be collaborating with other groups internationally. And myself and the other physicians who have graduated from the course, the results have been so positive. The results that we get from our patients because of this practice as well is that there are other doctors already who are already aligned to take the course because it is so important for us in Haiti and also so efficient, you know. Haiti being a country that has where traditional medicine is a very important factor in Haitian life. And now we have a more scientific approach with homeopathic medicine and to be able to provide, you know, something that is at the same time natural and efficient. Not only that, we are now, let me say, for instance, I was treating a patient with liver disease not long ago, and other patients that I've been treating, kids with malnutrition and so forth. You know, with homeopathic medicine, I now have a way to treat these patients without providing with drugs with secondary effects. And that's a great deal. That's a very big deal for us. So I can't tell you how pleased that we were that Homeopathy Without Borders offered this course to us. It has been an eye-awakening. Okay, Holly.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joey. Yeah, I was really moved by their energy coming out of the course, that they formalized an association during this last year. We also started bringing in additional supplies to help them establish a homeopathic center, a resource center, where they have more books available, and some of the pharmacies within this country have continued to donate some restocking medicines. Ultimately, our goal during this, especially this next round, once we get it going, would be to get, we have one pharmacist trained, we'd like 2 more pharmacists trained, so that we can begin to get them prepped to be making their own medicines within country. Again, our goal is to allow them to become self-sustaining, as I think we can do that. I guess I'm going to open it up for questions. If you'd like, Don?
Well, let me jump just ahead of Amaryllis here because she knows what's going on and I don't exactly. But I have a question about how many people do you have on the ground in Haiti now, and how many people are you going to need on the ground in Haiti in this next phase, which I gather is we're looking at a 3-year commitment, correct?
Yeah, I would love to move into a 3-year commitment to watch this really get well developed. And as far as how many people we have, Homeopaths Without Borders does not have anyone in country ongoing. We go in to teach the courses and to do clinical work. And we also stay to do additional continuing ed courses with the 50 graduates that we do have within Haiti. And I would say, John, maybe of those 50, because we have a large group in the southern region that's really hard to access. There are maybe 25 homeopaths in that area that I'm not sure how regularly they are using homeopathy, but of the group in Port-au-Prince and out in the country toward the west, and then in the north we have a homeopath midwife. I'm going to say about 70% of those people are using homeopathy regularly. So does that answer your question?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to calculate is what are we
supporting?
Yeah.
Okay, so that what it would do it would support our key staff to go in and teach the course, and with our key staff we're bringing in 2 to 4 other professionals to assist during the clinical training component. The other, so that's the big expense, is getting our folks there. Our other homeopaths that come in are basically, they're paying their way. They want to do this, they want to give to this, so that we cost as in-kind kind of contribution. Well, the pharmacy that we're working with, Hahnemann Labs, you know, they're also, we've been talking with them over the years. They're going to continue to support the medicine kits that go to each student in the course, and you know, that's valued over $10,000 each year. And so it's mostly about getting our staff there, being able to stay there and move around, and providing them with the textbooks and clinical supplies.
Thank you. Diana, please.
Thank you. My question really is in the sustainability aspect. With the people who are trained, where do they work and how do they work? Do they go out into the field? Do they, do they have transport to go out and run small local clinics in villages? And if so, how do they do that? And what do they need in order to do it? Do they need specialist examination tables, or what? What then happens?
Yeah, great, good question. The people going out into the field to do mobile clinics, you know, I know Dr. Joey just got back from doing a week-long mobile clinic in the Southeast, and he was reporting that they were serving 200 to 250 patients a day. He's with a visiting medical team from the U.S., and he was the only homeopath in that group, but he's integrating that medicine while he's doing his assessments. You know, he was saying, well, if there's fungal diseases, there's infections, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to use the homeopathic medicines. While he's working, he's collaborating with other MDs from the US, and they're saying, oh, I'm familiar with homeopathy a little bit. Wow, what are you doing? Whoa, we want to take the course too. You know, they're showing interest. We have a colleague who's up in the north. He's at a clinic. He was at a government hospital. He's at a private clinic now. He's a midwife also. They were doing a clinic this last year also. They went out to do a mobile clinic. He said they saw 370 patients in a day. He's the only one able to use homeopathy at this point, and he's saying, you know, we're ready to teach more people. So the people that are going out doing mobile clinics are people that already have private clinics or are in a group clinic, and this is what the Haitians do. They know there's so many hundreds of thousands of people not getting medical care, and that's their heartfelt response to the answer. It's like, I'm going to work on the weekends, I'm going to get out there. And how they sometimes we went out with Dr. Joey's team and he brought in exam tables, and sometimes you just have to go and use whatever is available. And I can tell you with the first groups of homeopaths that we chose, that it wasn't stipulated they had to have a medical license. Those practitioners also, within their own communities, at their churches, we'll set up a free clinic for people to come and get assistance. Throughout the whole time, at any time, any of those practitioners can contact us back here in the States, either through Zoom or on WhatsApp, and get clinical support from us. And they do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn, have a hand up.
So as I understand it, the vast majority of people really are existing docs, existing medical personnel with an existing network, which is partly why you're working with the Ministry of Health, who are integrating homeopathy into the medical system that's already there. It's not a competing system. And if I understand right, one reason for doing that, particularly in Haiti, is because there are the traditional doctor fée, the people who use the traditional plants and the traditional techniques to treat patients. And this is sort of bringing them into the medical system and giving them some more background in how reinforcing the immune system can work in the process of treating disease. That's part of it?
Yeah,
part of the theory?
Well, Dr. Joey spoke to, that people are much more comfortable with natural medicines. And we've spoken with, even through the Ministry of Health in their Department of Traditional Medicine, again, interested also in taking the course with us as well. But it's, when the homeopaths there introduce the type of medicine that they will receive at the clinic, they start with, this is a natural medicine made from natural products. And it seems like after that, there's no additional questioning except, I want more than one dose. This is good. Can you give me more? Can you give me more?
Well, how much in the clinics, as you're teaching people to set them up, how much time are they working with folks on sort of general health and wellness and reinforcement, and how much is it, well, I'll give you a medicine, but it's not silver sulfate cream, it's the homeopathic whatever for fungal infections? Because it's not just replacing traditional medicine, traditional allelopathic medicine with homeopathic remedies. It's much more than that, right?
Dawn, I think what happens when they start sitting with the doctor and they're taking the case is that the doctor's more focusing not on the specific disease and saying, uh-oh, you've got migraines, it could be more like, okay, how are you experiencing this stress? And what are you doing to get in and out of, to make it better or worse? There's a lot of focus around what makes somebody feel better or worse. And even just that awareness, that knowing somebody's going to ask you, are you feeling better since you got the medicine? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is that? That's what we're listening for. Do you like to go into a dark room, and just making even those suggestions is a place to have people become more familiar with how I deal with it personally, as opposed to the person next to you, as opposed to, a whole public health response to it. So I think that individualization, knowing that our own vital forces change, operate or respond differently, is the first path to wellness. As opposed to me coming in and saying, you know what, you need to stop every day at this hour and take this medicine, and you need to be drinking this amount of water. We turn it, our interviewing process turns the reflection back to the person to help to guide how we're using the homeopathic medicines.
All right, thank you. Amaryllis had her hand up, and then Wayne.
Thank you. Well, it's just a little bit along the lines of what Holly was explaining, and I just thought that it was interesting and important that Holly explained a little bit the concept of classical homeopathy, which she just did in very nutshell, but maybe also the concept of the one dose, because it will make us club members, fellow Rotarians, more comfortable into speaking a little bit about how is it that this works, so that we can do what we have to do to be able to fundraise for the project. So you just already explained a little bit, Holly, about the individualization and how important it is that 3 people with migraines from the homeopathic perspective will probably get 3 different medicines, because you are 3 different vital forces spinning in different ways. But also the concept of the one dose, if you can go just a little bit into that, because it's not just that it is a natural source, it's just that we are just informing the vital force about this is what we do when this happens.
So can you would like me to explain a little bit more about what Amaryllis? A little bit.
The concept of the one dose. What happens actually once the medical homeopath does the repertorization and decides I'm going this route because it is this person's migraine and not just generic migraine.
Okay, so with the prescription for a homeopathic medicine and through our teachings with our classical approach, we're teaching the concept of, okay, that you need to get a good picture of who this person is, how their vital force responds to a stress. So let's keep continuing with a migraine. Oh, a patient comes in, I've had migraines for years. I don't know, it's gone on maybe since I was a kid. Well, we don't stop there and say, oh, you need this medicine. So we're going to look for the onset of the symptoms. We're going to look for always the modalities. We can't make a prescription unless we know what makes the patient feel better or worse with this particular stress, this disease, this ailment. What makes it better or worse? We want to know if there are any other symptoms that are coming along with that. When I have migraines, I get diarrhea. And we are also looking for concomitants.
and the times.
Oh, the times, that's part of the kind of modalities at what time is worse. From that, we get a picture of who this person is with migraines. So I know the quality of what's going on, their pain or discomfort. You know, we want to know what it feels like and the location as well. So all those 5 symptoms. We don't prescribe, or we teach, okay, if you're going to give a medicine, you need to select 3 reasons within that those 5 areas, the modalities, concomitants, location, sensation. We need 3 reasons why it goes back to this particular medicine. They are introduced, their kits have 52 medicines in them that they prescribe for these common kinds of family practice types of issues. That is, then we give them 1 dose and we have them return sometimes after a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks, to see how that their vital force responded to the medicine before proceeding.
All right. Thank you. Wayne, you had your hand up.
Good morning. Excellent presentation. Thank you. Within Haiti, do you do sort of train the trainer so that eventually it will be sufficient and you don't have to bring teachers from outside? And also internationally, do you work with organizations such as CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention? And that's my question. Thank you.
Nice. We're not working with the CDC yet. We hope to get their attention at some point, but right now we are focusing in on first, this last year we were seeing, okay, we want to bring this into the medical profession within Haiti. Is this going to work? And I think you just heard from Dr. Joey, yes, it's working, and yes, we're ready to do more. And so, Wayne, what we want to do is move into training the trainers there. That's the 3-year proposal, to gradually shift the teaching over to the Haitians. And during that time, we will continue to bring in other homeopathic professionals from North America to help build up their network of support and collaboration from the outside. And that's, our focus. We work with volunteers from North America, but I can see that that's already going to grow and expand to other countries. We're working with an epidemiologist out of Brazil. He has been studying homeopathy on his own, and for example, when he heard about the birth attendants, training midwives and birth attendants, he's saying, please, can't you come to our country to do this? And for now, our focus is in the Caribbean areas and North America, but as we get more people trained to teach the curriculum, it can go anywhere.
I should think that the Brazilian physician would be particularly interested in chikungunya, yes.
Yes. That's how he first came into us. He was heading to Africa. He wanted to come and study with us in Haiti, and because of his commitments couldn't, but he got prepped from us on how to treat.
Diana, you're back in. Diana, I've unmuted you. Well, yeah.
Sorry. You mentioned that the people who were trained in the South, that you were not sure whether, exactly how they were operating and about their ongoing. Is that something that, that our links in the South could help with? I don't know where you mean, whether it's Jeremy or Les Cayes or Acan or where, exactly where, which area.
It's actually it's on the eastern coast in Valence.
Okay.
And we have telephone connections, and oftentimes it's very sketchy. Mm-hmm. We just haven't gotten our team back in there, and I would love to get a team down there this year. But there's telephone conversations within our group in Haiti, and but it's been hard to keep up communications.
Okay, thank you.
But do you have any Rotarians in the Southeast?
No, I think the furthest east would be Léogâne, and I don't think so. Dawn knows the geography better than me, but I don't think we have anyone further east than Léogâne in the south. Dawn, you're muted.
On the coast, we have connections to Jacques Mel, although I don't think that club is functional. And of course, the whole South knows Dr. Leger. I don't know how much contact he's had with this, but that southeast corner has historically just been a hard place to get to.
It has.
Which is one reason for having some alternative medicines when the regular system just doesn't get there.
Yes, exactly.
Really, the alternative approach is sort of what is interesting, because it works with what's available in the area.
That's right.
It is now 9:50. I guess we can take another 5 minutes or so of questions and then wrap up.
Anyone else?
Well, it's not a question. I just would like to say that this entire initiative really is bringing Haiti to the standards of global medicine, because it's only in the United States and some aspects of the UK medical system that puts a little bit of a hampering energy on something that was there before the conventional medicine was organized. And if you go, for example, in France, in Spain, in Switzerland, in Italy, in Germany, homeopathy is part of the national medicine. So Haiti will have plenty of opportunities to actually interact with international groups, even with Liga, which is the International Association for Medical Homeopaths, as opposed to professional homeopaths like me, for example, that I'm not a trained physician. So the doors to what can happen with this training goes far beyond just empowering the people of Haiti, but also opening opportunities of studying and for young people to have access to a quality wellness education that they can actually study there in Haiti without having to expend themselves or leave their families to become physicians. So they can be assistants and to all medical homeopaths and things like that. So the repercussions of this can go into not just health, but economic development and even peace initiative, because when people are healthy, they're much more able to consider other ways of living. So this is my humanitarian take on this project.
Thank you. Dennis, you've been quiet.
I was just actually in relation to what Amaryllis was just talking about. Obviously, the drug and medical industry in the United States is several $1 trillion huge, and its influence, of course, is probably overwhelming even in Haiti. Have you gotten a lot of pushback at this point, or are you just not making that many waves that makes a difference to them?
That's fun. When we started posting more information about what we were doing, after the earthquake, and then starting to teach down there, we got some very nasty messages and threats. And my response to them was, maybe you should come and join us and see what the Haitians are asking for and how people are responding to the medicines. And it quieted down every once in a while. I think it's outside of the United States, the attack comes in and we just don't say anything at this point. But directly from a pharmaceutical company, no. Not yet.
Well, we have a system of spending a lot of money behind the scenes that's almost untraceable, that ultimately is directly involved with huge corporations like that. And so don't write that one off.
No, I think you're right, Dennis, that some of those attacks were, somebody lit a fire under them.
All righty. We've thank you so much, Holly and Dr. Joey.
Yes.
Excellent presentation, and it sounds like things are working, which I am always surprised.
Yeah.
When things work out well. Dawn?
Well, I think they work because we're doing it together, and I'm planning. We have plans to go in September and start interviewing applicants for the next course. We would love to start this course program up again in November. I don't know how that works out with your timeline, that we can work together to submit the proposal in and raise the necessary funds, but I await for your direction.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And I know Amaryllis was trying to make some connections on how would we fundraise for this, because last I saw the total, we would have to raise like $30,000 through some sort of network. somewhere like 20,000, 30,000, depending on how it's set up, in order to get the matches from District and Rotary International to complete what Rotary would have to do for the way the project was originally thought out. But things are progressing without us, and we have to know what we can raise and adjust accordingly. It's very much a moving piece, and we're glad to hear that it's a moving piece, not just dependent on us. But that's going to be some of our discussions in the not too distant future on, okay, what can we realistically do? What connections do we realistically have? We're obviously not going to be able to pass the hat for 5 figures.
Right.
So what can we do? What connections can we raise? And how can we put something together that may not be for this fall, but will chip into this ongoing project at some point? And that's going to have to be another discussion, because it's already 8:56 and some of us were 9:56 and some of us had the board meeting as well.
Yeah.
But thank you, Holly, for coming in on reasonably short notice and being willing to catch us up on what's going on. And club members, if you're intrigued and you want to hear more either about the general theory of homeopathy or about the medical system in Haiti or anything, toss an email to particularly myself or Diana or Amaryllis if you like, and let us know what you want to hear more of, and we will get it on the schedule, because we would like to be scheduling our meeting topics at least a month out so that people can look in advance and guests can look in advance and see that, number one, we're organized, and number two, that's an interesting topic. I think I'd like to try and make that meeting. So with that, let's end with the 4-way test. Thank you again, Holly and Dr. Joey.
Yep.
We appreciated you very much.
Thank you.
So as Rotarians, we keep in mind the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, or do. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build
Goodwill and better
friendships?
And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And we will make it fun.
It will be
It shall be fun. Don't wear socks.
around
Happy Christmas in July.
to Rotary around.
Rotary around the world.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.